Saturday Showdown, T1 versus Gen G Esports.
They had another decent matchup for Volibear in the top lane, but they flexed at jungle, and they lost in spectacular fashion.
Well, that means no Renekton, because it looks like Rascal just wants to have the Gwen counter pick here. Oh, considering some other options, I mean, you have so much single
Brock!
Explosive damage here with this Malphite onto Envy.
DRX have a free ride, but he's going to have to get into position. Let's jump into the Rift here for game number 1.
Yep. And Envy and Palu might be able to get a little bit of damage done with that first Glitter Lance here. Really like this position. So wait and see, you know.
And it's so different now how it works, right? You know, all of these champions are just completely evolved. As Envy dashes forward, Teddy taking a lot of damage. The level 2 that we were talking about that they were going for was collected, and therefore they have all of that extra power.
Barrier comes out, you know, put that trading through. Now you're going to be able to get... Oh, Gideon?
That's the flash in from Gideon. Gets himself his shield so he can tank up that turret, but that next shot, that was a dangerous one.
You press Q, you slow Zeri, you press R on top of Zeri, then you just press your other buttons and you just right-click her and you hope that the team kills her.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what he's going to be doing. Now, he may be set up by a Vi ultimate to guarantee that he can't miss when he does go for his ult. I mean, almost nothing. I don't think Rascal is too concerned about it. Yep. Got some additional vision as well that they were going to commit to that. Slowed down with Yehu.
Yeah, Shockwave going to come through there. It's Seismic Shove, doesn't really mean too much, and I think Yehu is just dead. There we go. First blood going over to Karis on the Orianna. We heard the space talking about. So they're making use of it as Envy is going to tank a full culling. And he doesn't actually use his barrier. That is, in fact, the shield from Lulu that was employed there. So that level 6 that we were talking about is still going to be somewhat valuable as they do just trade ult for ult.
Yeah, not going to be too great for him since he only was able to pick up Greaves and a longsword as Teddy is putting the pressure on still. And I mean, Lulu's shield can get you a little bit, but eventually going to lose out there. And Sponge, of course, does have his ultimate, so they really need to be respectful here.
And Pleta now taking a lot of damage. Tidal Wave is going to be coming in, misses the bubble, but Polu's taking a lot of damage, and Gideon biding his time and is going to show himself now. So 3v3 here on this bottom side. Health advantage for DRX at this point as the culling is going to fly in. Let's see whether Gideon has an answer here as Envy turns around and just presses the ult button. Gideon running real quick, but isn't going to be able to find too much more.
And Bro looked like they're just hard committing to saying, I want Herald, and I'm going to ignore Dragon. And DRX are like, no, we are going to fight you. But they took so long to come over here, then they don't commit to the contest, so the Herald is just going to go over. And so, you know, I feel like Bro got about as much as they could have hoped for out of not getting the Dragon. So it feels okay. Still up now about 1,500, 1,800 gold in this game.
Yeah, I think they're feeling absolutely fine. That first turret blood really does give the extra money. Of course, Yehu is able to get this turret down pretty low, and Sponge in the area might mean that they could potentially grab themselves a kill as well. He does have that flash back up and available, but there's the Shockwave, and Polu's making his way in. They realize can't do anything about it, and Karis, all it costs him is an R button. He's a dangerous prospect as Teddy comes on over. He's got that wave to catch as well.
Yeah, he's got a bounty.
Oh dear, okay, really nice Vault Breaker here from Sponge as Polu just speeds himself up. Cease and desist though underneath this turret, and Teddy just says goodnight. Sponge just knew exactly what he was capable of there, especially with Illusion in his back pocket. Really nicely done to even up the scoreboard. Just try and get yourself into a position to maybe fight for a Dragon. As speaking of which, Gideon decides that he wants to go aggressive. There is a polymorph on him though, so the bear isn't able to follow through on too much more. Still, just gets so much health back being a Volibear.
Yeah, and they're fishing right now.
That's what I'm sort of getting, the vibe I'm sort of getting. We haven't even seen like the odd, like, I'm caught in a Herald pit and I have to ult away. As Gideon gonna get engaged on here momentarily.
Turrets are slightly...
Oh dear, Gideon might need to ult out of this one, or he might just die, yeah. He's going to be able to ult, does manage to get a lot of health back from the Wild Growth as well, and he's going to have to go home, and that should mean Soul Point.
I mean, even if he does flash there, you probably can't contest this. They're going to commit Weavers.
Yeah, Polu not able to get out of here, does have to flash. As Karis goes golden as well, breaks his arm guard, but he might be all right with it. Yeah, Rascal's going to get on in, and that means that's a very dead Orianna. Yehu taking a fair bit of damage, and Rascal, he's very tanky. I don't think they're going to kill him, as Morgan might be able to pull him back around, but I don't think so. Envy is taking an into turret, so I guess that's a good thing here for Bro. But DRX really starting to put the screws in. Able to grab that kill into Karis, certainly good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear, there's the Weavers. Oh, he doesn't get the interruption! Oh, just gets knocked back. So that is going to be Yehu keeping himself alive. Seismic Shove's also good, but the Shockwave is a little bit better. Still, the inner turret is going to fall down. You are basically immortal nowadays. Kind of cool. Seismic Shove going to land. He walked back into it. Oh, no. Down to 50% almost is the Volley Bear. His health bar important if they want to start off these fights. They want Rascal, who we need to be looking for initiation, for finding these angles.
Yeah, they want that CC chain onto Envy if they can, but they will burst down a frontliner if they can find them. Morgan.
Oh, they cannot stack up, though, because you can see the Rock in great position right now. Throws the wagon wheel, siphons that movement speed. Morgan now wanting to find this angle is going to be able to walk over to the side, but he's seen on vision. The Aqua Prism's fantastic. And now Envy has to flash to get out of the Seismic Shove, and there it is. Rascal was just waiting, and the Shockwave isn't enough to keep him alive. DRX. That is a gorgeous fight. It's like they've been waiting for that exact moment all game long. And Gideon, I don't think he's going to be able to survive that. Takes a rock to the back of the head, and that is going to be almost the ace because Polo, he almost defected. Yeah. And now all he sees is opportunities to throw discs of rock and to slam the ground, as Weaverswell does come on through here. Morgan taking a fair bit of damage on that front line as Yehu goes golden. The culling not exactly doing too much, but look at the Rock. He's able to dive on in. He's taking a bit of damage. He's going to have to flash, but I don't think he's dead. Yeah, Morgan is going to have to try and tank Teddy, and that ain't going to work, as now Sponge is going to chase Gideon to the other side of the map, and the base is going to be broken. DRX, they just came alive. They found their window. They got that Mountain Soul that we were talking about all game is so incredibly powerful.
Yeah, and then they could just run on top of people through the turret because they're just so tanky. They just don't care.
He went down relatively low, but look at all these shields that he gets back again. Yeah. He has 557 armor. It is absolutely insane. The Rock is feeling very happy. It's an 8,000 gold lead that sprang up out of nowhere, and DRX, they will take down the Nexus. It was calm, collected. They just found the team fight they needed, and they won the game.
And so Bro decided to go for the Baron. It was a Hail Mary attempt. Like, all right, let's kite back. Maybe they'll chase us. They'll take a poor fight. They didn't. Very blindable, very strong in the mid game. You can help Zeri get through some of her tougher times. And yeah, we knew this one was coming. Rascal loves his Jax right now. He is picking it into Aatrox whenever available. And so
in this game, and if Yehu has another good one, could be great here for DRX. And Karis should have just full control of the wave. I think that with a Karma, as long as he's hitting Qs, he is going to be even more painful, especially after that first item has been hit.
As Palu is going to be the one trying to stop him from doing so.
The biggest thing for me is that it indicates that it would be playing the lethality variant, and I actually really like that. Because they do need, like, they want to be utilizing the range advantage that Varus has instead of trying to get auto attacks off, as we've got a bit of a scuffle here in the jungle. Aftershock already broken as the blue buff loses interest in the whole situation here. Yehu actually getting some good trades onto Karis though, as he was thinking about roaming over. Still, Bro will be able to get this steal by the looks.
Heimerdinger's been used in the past when you wanted to get advantages in a lane like this. They could have actually clashed there and probably have gotten some value and maybe recontrolled the lane and gotten prio, but instead, oh, Rascal on the proxy. Okay, he's gonna be fine. Yeah. You know, picking Varus into Zeri and having this start in the laning phase doesn't feel great.
Well, Sponge also now gonna have to deal with Gideon moving over. Smite's
and a Karma
coming back off cooldown. There is an Aatrox moving down, but Sponge already has flashed away. The Seismic Shove is brilliant there from Yehu. Sacrifices a bunch of his health, but is still gonna keep his Poppy alive.
Still will be double scuttle going over to Gideon. But yeah, at least he survives. At least Sponge doesn't get punished there.
Umpty-esque.
Yeah, that's really true, actually. And Sponge massively behind in farm because of that early, you know, shenanigans as Yehu.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage. Throws the rocks in the wrong direction. But is going to be able to make it into the Fog of War and should be all right.
It's so sad, every Karma matchup that gets played out. He's like, okay, I got some trades. Finally, I got that shove. Oh, he's going to Q me again. I got boots. I can run away from it faster now, maybe. And he has cooldown boots, so he can use it more often. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
Karma not fun.
A little bit awkward, you know, walks away.
He can buffer his assault here if he is confident to hit that.
With no ulti, though, it is very hard to lock down a Jax under a turret, just given how powerful the counter-strike is. He is going to press that button now, and Gideon, you can see, was holding his ground there. Does give away his position. Now the Grandmaster's might is channeled. Let's see what Rascal can actually do. As, yeah, he's just running in the wrong direction. He just understands he's dead. And there he goes. First blood goes over to Morgan.
I really appreciate how, I mean, that was Umpty-esque as well, right? Like we were talking about, and it was very Gideon-esque from game one where he was just going to force.
He's sort of nullified the advantage that Morgan had been able to pick up with First Blood, which is kind of nutty. Grandmaster's Might comes down now as Morgan also trying to end the world, but he's not hitting many of these sweet spots. Does have the Q3, but Rascal able to create enough space here as now the fight is on. Karis is going to be flashing. Gideon locks down the Drake, but can they keep themselves alive in the team fight? It looks like the answer is yes, and another Mountain Soul.
Make sure where Pleta is, knows he's not in the vicinity. As Sponge still wants to contest, maybe look for a Keeper's Verdict.
Rascal, he's teleporting in as they just keep his verdict. There he goes, gets rid of the jungler, takes away the Rift Herald, and now Rascal has dove in. There's a Weaver's Wall as well as Sponge. He throws the buckler, and he is able to take down Morgan with the help of his teammates. Beautifully played here by DRX as they come alive in the mid-game. No, it's not awkward. This is exactly what they want, because now Rascal with his bubs, he's going to dive in on top of Morgan here, gets the stun with the counter-strike, and look at this. This Jax is just an absolute monster. He completes his Trinity Force as Morgan does have the World Ender, and now he's looking to turn it. The flash comes through. Oh man, okay, never underestimate the power of an Aatrox. Now Polo is in trouble as well, gets knocked up and taken down. Envy gets over the wall, he's out of danger.
So they decide to push the mid turret with the Herald instead, and I actually, even with the additional charge, I massively favor Mountain Soul here for Bro as Rascal is in trouble.
Yeah, he certainly is. Teleport is going to come through though for Yahoo. And, oh, the Glacial Prison timing just gorgeous, but still the flash out from Yahoo does manage to find another seismic shove, but the big rock not going to connect. And Rascal, he's Alcove Gaming. It's not exactly optimal. And they're not going to be able to keep them live. Flashes forward. Envy now looking for that moment, but he gets knocked up and pulled back into the turret. It's gorgeously played once again for Yahoo. And Pleta, he's going deep, and a Weaver's Wall to come down. Morgan is so low, but he's still alive, and now Pleta is all the way in there. He'll be taken down, and Sponge trying to get on through. They're so low, and the piercing arrow should be enough to lock down the kills. There's another one for Teddy, and DRX, they turn it around. As these shields just keep getting cut down by Teddy, who just lands
the poke war, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It might be won by Karis.
All right, there is the Glacial Prison onto Sponge, but he's Poppy. He gets a heroic charge right back. Polu is the target, but he's not exactly high value. As now Envy still alive, still at pretty high health, but Teddy's still landing these Qs as well.
Teddy is carrying this fight so
he's
hard.
A monster. He's landing all of them.
He's hard carrying, like we don't see 80 carries do too often these days. He is just hitting every single shot.
DRX let them, and they just reset up the phalanx around Teddy, and he once again started hitting them like fish in a barrel. Is now, I may have caster cursed him, he's put on a leash. He's able to get the flash off though as Polo tries to dive in. Headbutt Pulverize is only onto Gideon, but he's down relatively low now. Rascal off to the side, and he will find the counter-strike, but he gets snared as well. Envy finds the extendo beam on top of the Jax, and he's permafrosted. That's going to be the first kill for the Zeri. And DRX losing one in this fight could be really bad. The Baron up and available. Yeah, control ward's coming in as Rascal now gets the news that the Baron has been started. Sponge, he's tanking forever, but there's no one in the immediate vicinity at all. So they take away the smite, and now this Malignance flying on forward. They do get a Weaver's Wall through, so Yahoo is going to make his way down, but there is no way that they can stop this Baron, and Bro in absolute control now.
No vision for Teddy to poke. He's trying to just see what he can find. Is
all right,
Pleta?
Pleta dives forward, looks for Polu, but he's pretty mobile, gets himself out of the way. And Morgan, he's a freight train, looking to dive on top of Rascal here. Yahoo now in trouble. He'll be cut down where he stands, and there's a grand entrance on top of Teddy. He had no flash, no options.
Tried something to stop this Baron.
Whoa! Okay, speaking of trying something, Seismic Shove going to throw back Gideon, but he's so extraordinarily tanky. The quickness to try and dive in, but Polu is not able to quite get through there still. They will take the cow down. And Yahoo, oh, okay, Keeper's Verdict is pretty good. Polu just battle dances his way out, though, as the Hail of Arrows not quite enough there. So, Bro, not able to get too much more than just Pleta. And you know, Bro aren't, you know, they are going to, they're going to be honest. As
Flank?
this could be another one of those fights. As Gideon going to be thrown back. Aftershock is now down, but Polo trying to get some quickness value. Difficult with the Poppy here. Pleta getting a few knockups. Rascal can't really figure out what he wants to do here, and Polo's keeping him out of the fight. But look at this. The Zeri is just a little bit too powerful. She just zaps down both of those frontliners. And DRX, I don't think they're going to be able to defend this inner turret, as now Gideon says, you're going to prison, Sponge. Bro charged to try and taxi his way out, but he's just taking Q after Q. Teddy relatively untouched though, and this is a Poppy. As, okay, yeah, Karis is going to be taken down. Envy is still really dangerous and did have a big old shield, in fact, a couple of them.
No way they win this game, right? Off of this, right?
I have no idea. Well, Pleta's going to see whether he can get in there and start some sort of fight, but Morgan has a great flank angle, and Teddy! Oh, he's going to get the flash off. Can he actually keep himself alive? No. Keeper's verdict does come in, but they've lost their damage, and Yahoo is going to get collapsed on as well. It was a valiant attempt by DRX, but unfortunately, it is going to mean absolutely nothing. Rascal's flashing away, flashing around, doing some stuff, but he is still most likely going to die. Gideon and Polo don't have any damage. So I don't know, like, this is going to take some time.
They do have Mountain Soul, so Rascal can't really hurt them either.
Yeah, it's sort of like the countering of not being able to hurt anyone. They do have CC under each other though. There's now Counter-Strike coming. This is the weirdest thing. They're not even going to go for the Elder or anything like that. Pleta was trying to keep these minions away, as Rascal, yeah, he has that lance.
Okay, it's the damage from the ult, right, that gets him?
Okay, yeah, finds another proc.
This is so hilarious.
This is so silly. Nexus turrets are going down though, and so is Sponge. So, okay, finally he goes down, and the Nexus is gonna follow suit, and of course, we are brought to game number 3. Bro,
Teddy, remember when Teddy carried that one fight and they were able to get the dragon despite botching the fight? Like, that was the fight for me where I realized
this composition will just kind of steamroll as
Morgan,
the game goes on.
And Morgan's played Renekton into Udyr once before.
Oh,
it did not go well. It did not go well.
Hey,
it went very badly. It's not a good matchup.
But now it has been slightly buffed.
I don't think that extra Q healing.
And it's a disaster. We'll see whether Bro can fight back from this early deficit.
Buddy, I am not going to be pressing anything but W towards him, and my mom might hurt some people. But Senna also has a mom, but it's global, and it's a little bit stronger.
Good old global mom. I don't think Teddy is too worried about it. I think they're probably going to go for a crash and then go back and get, you know, their World Atlas and things like this. Although you can see here, they are going to try and put a bit of pressure onto this turret.
Yeah, not too valuable to just auto a turret without World Atlas, so probably could have just gone for that back timing. Not getting a whole lot out of this. A little bit of stacking. As here comes Gideon, but look at this. Oh, he's running away.
Oh, they do manage to get the flash in for the stun. As almost it was enough as Gideon able to tank that last shot.
He did it!
They did it. They managed to take down the Udyr. But Bro, off the back of this early first blood, and it goes to a Renekton lane, that will turn Renekton into a lot more of a champion. As we know. So Karis going to get ulted here in the mid lane. Does try and throw his ult back, but the Inspire Shield going to help him stay healthier than he could have been. Grasping more, not going to quite land.
So close, though, and might have actually just been his death there if it had. So DRX get the first of the Bubs objective as Bro, unfortunately, so that's going to go the way of Sponge. Karis wants to maybe try to steal with the Mantra Q.
Yeah, Morgan also getting on in here as well. As Yahoo moving on over. There's the Paranoia as well, as the ulti is pretty fantastic still. The flash out from Karis, it's not going to be enough, but it's a trade for the Udyr, who did just run around in circles and then kind of fall over. And now Sponge is on the wrong side of the rift. Moom gets angry, and Sponge is now just fighting Morgan. Blastcone is going to be here as they separate, and Gideon going to be the one to pick up the mantle of trying to kill Sponge. It's going to take a little while, but he does eventually go down. And this way is going to get more and more dangerous as the game goes on.
At least Gideon's using the power point that he is right now. He's got this pressure he's putting on around the enemy jungle here, top side. When they show bottom the aggression, then he decides, okay, let's see what we can find in mid. Yes, Karis does put him down low, but not able to do anything with the wave crashing into the turret. Palu is going to get zoned.
Yeah, they're actually looking to try and chase them down. He actually
That's not a Xayah.
Yeah, almost gives away his position.
Rascal, no vision.
Yeah, he's going to walk into two people. Doesn't have flash available, remember, as he's already ghosted. Let's see whether he can run out of this one, and he's not going to be able to. Morgan locks down that kill. That's going to be his first of the game to augment those 3 assists that he already has.
Yahoo.
All right, there's a Paranoia, and this is going to be a very, very dead Karma. And now Gideon gonna have to get out of there. He does have the ulti. Spiraling Despair.
As meanwhile, Rascal should be fine here on the bottom side. Morgan thinks otherwise.
It's a really long lane, as Rascal is just trying to sustain up, but you can see Morgan's doing the same thing. And Rascal should be able to run a bit quicker, so he's able to get out of there, but still, Morgan able to show that he is a little bit stronger. Win the game. Either of the dragons, in fact. Pick a dragon. Either of them would be great if you manage to take them down. It's all right, Polo dives in. Quickness over the top of 2 is fantastic. And they take down the Nocturne before he can do absolutely anything at all. And now Morgan is dancing in, and it's a double kill for the Smolder. Pleta is going to be able to save Rascal's life as Teddy with the Dawning Shadow cannot do anything about it. That's going to be a Quadra. That's the Smolder moment. And I feel like DRX had it lined up, and then it all just got burnt away. Able to at least make their way over here this time around. Snare is going to be good, as Rascal's clearing vision as best he can. Morgan on that flank angle is going to be spotted out here by Rascal. They're holding their ground for the moment. This is Quay's bread and butter. This is what he likes. Mom gets mad though, as over they go. They dive on top of the Smolder, but Sponge has to immediately get out. Once again, they get rid of the Viego as Polu, once again, a massive engage into the backline, but Morgan is also able to get on top of Sponge. Not a priority target though, as Teddy's the one starting to pop off in this fight.
It's Senna time!
Yep, Karis and Polu just trying to group up around Envy and make something happen. Rascal just presses all of those buttons. That means he can't die, and he will be all right. But DRX, they don't get the Drake, but they're able to at least survive the fight. Oh, this flank angle for Morgan. Yeah, he's on a control ward, and now Sponge is going to be able to find him, but it's all just bad news. Not a lot of options here as Mom gets angry, and it's Yahoo that's going to take the most of that damage, but Rascal is just straight up dead. He cannot frontline for any more than about 4 seconds.
Morgan's flank just hard carried this fight for Bro because there's just nothing DRX could do. They can't burst him down. He's too tanky. They can't actually push forward.
And he's going to find yet another stun onto Sponge here. Very late on the spell shield, does absolutely nothing.
So value.
As in goes Polu, and there is the flanking teleport. Morgan just says, oh, it is all too easy. Yahoo, he doesn't have any mobility at all to speak of, and so he is just going to be cut down where he stands. Sponge now in trouble as well. Look, he is so incredibly intimidating. Oh, a spear? Would you like a spear? Oh, I'll take one. Oh, no worries. And so Morgan now is completely kitted out, and that's an interesting use of Paranoia, as Morgan sort of thought about taking damage, but then decided against it afterwards. So that is a bunch of buttons, mainly of the R variety, that are now on cooldown.
They identified Morgan's the problem, but he's too big of a problem to solve.
Yeah, you can't just eat your problems, Splitter. You can't eat them. And Envy, he's taking a bit of damage here from Teddy, who is actually pretty scary. If they get on top of him, he now has some armor penetration, but that's not going to solve the issue here that's happening on the top side of the map. You have so many super creeps making their way into the base. Teddy finally takes down that blue buff as they get the bad news. In goes Sponge, he steals it! And he splashes to get out of the way. Maybe he's just sponged enough to give them a last breath in this game. He is likely just going to die because there's a lot of CC and people and things like that. Flap, flap, flap goes Envy.
TP.
And now they're looking for the TP. They just want to end as they manage to take down one. So it's a 4 versus 5. As, okay, I don't know about that one. That is very dead Karis. It's just a free kill.
I cannot believe what I'm watching. I cannot believe what I'm watching. The inhibitors respawn, bro.
Maybe the center plot armor is just too incredibly powerful, but I don't think so. I think there's still a chance that this siege might work. But Senna is able to get her health back as Yahoo underneath 2 Nexus turrets is the Envy. Don't you dare. Okay, another inhibitor going to be taken out, or at least attempted to. Dawning Shadow flies across. Well, Bro are just continuing this siege. They want to take down the last one as in goes the quickness and the grand entrance as Yahoo just taking so much damage, but he avoids Mom. And now the ulti comes in. Gideon just tanks it up though. Oh no, Bro now finding the turnaround angle. And there goes the Udyr once again. Gideon is so incredibly low, and Teddy is taken out. It's a triple once again. Make it the Quadra, and that could be the pentakill to finish this one off for Bro and to finish the winning streak for the Senna. It got a little dicey Spicy around the middle there. But Envy's still going to be emote spamming, still finding that opportunity. Blows the Zhonya's, and he's the golden boy as the turret is taken down.
Thank you very much. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by Morgan on the side of OK Savings Bank Brion. Congratulations! Thank you. How do you feel about this meaningful victory? After we lost game 1, it felt like we had pretty lowered spirits, but we tried to cheer each other up, saying we can definitely get back on our feet and we still have a chance to win. I think that's how we were able to get our victory. Did you have something to say to Coco, the caster? So Coco was the only one who actually predicted that we would win. So I want to say something to him. As a word of gratitude, I want to say thank you, Coco. I believe that we were able to win thanks to you. And in game 2, POG votes were split equally between top and jungle, but you took the POG with caster votes. So who did you assume to be picked as the POG that game? I don't think I was really considering POG. I feel like in game 2, we're more concerned about being able to be ready for game 3 to actually get our victory today. So I believe that Gideon did really well, so I think I was thinking maybe Gideon would get it. And so, in you played Aatrox against Jax and you zoned out Rascal off 1v1, had a really good laning phase overall. So what was the feedback after game 1? I believe that we had to play better as a team, so I think that was the main goal and the main point of the feedback. And in patch 14.4, your signature pick, Renekton, got buffed. So how was it playing him in game 3? I don't think I got enough experience playing him in the new patch, but it seems like it feels really good playing him. And I feel like with the right itemization and the right way to study this champion, I think we'll be able to make better use out of Renekton. And Senna was actually on a 17-game winning streak until today, but you left her open and took Smolder instead. So what was the intention of this strategy? I believe we were really confident regarding playing Smolder. So I think it really depends on just the matchup overall. I think today we just took Smolder because we saw that more value with that with our team. So what was the strategy here? I believe that we're able to allow the Smolder to scale with the top side staying grounded with the addition of Renekton in our comp. So I think that was probably the goal of our macro. And in game 3, you gave 3 straight dragon stacks away. So was it because you had so much faith in Smolder's late game? I believe we were able to get more value and more advantage off of the side lane. So I think we were just happy to give away those dragon stacks. So Envy got a Quadra at the very end of the fountain. So was he pretty disappointed that he wasn't able to get a Penta? Yeah. So he was actually really disappointed. He really wanted that Penta kill. I was able to take 1 to 2 kills off of that, but he was able to take some with those execute from Smolder. Hana Life Esports is going to be your next opponent. What are your goals and any comments on your preparation? Hana Life Esports is a strong opponent, so I think we'll try everything that we can. And if we hit a roadblock, I believe that as long as we are able to try everything that we can, we'll be able to grow and learn, and we'll be able to be prepared for the next match through all those experiences. And this will be the end of the interview with Morgan, and back to the space.